ওদিক তো দেখাই যাচ্ছে না।
যতটা পেরেছি ও ঠিক করেছে। তোরা
Nana is sitting, whoever has to speak will come and sit there, and that will come in the frame.
Okay.
So why not start?
Yes.
Yes.
So, thank you everyone for coming, near and far. Whoever rode a bus to get here to get to a carpool here.
Unfortunately, Jharnawashi.
So Dad is, I didn't imagine that I've done these things for many people, and for my grandparents and everything, and I did not seemingly believe that I would have to do it to one of my parents. I did not even think of it in my mind. If I had, I almost wouldn't think that I would do it for Dad, actually. Dad was taking care of Mom. And I always thought his dad lived until 93. And they were both saying they're going to live until 99. They had me fooled. So when I think of Dad, I think gone too soon, because he always came back to me. And what I did was, whenever he was in the hospital or something, I would put my fingers through his hair, and I would see his eyes. I would see his eyes rolling through his lids, and I would know there was life there. So on the very last day, on November 7th, I looked at his eyes and I said, Daddy, come back to me. And the reason why I said that and was pleading for him to come back to me is because there were no eyelids moving. I was wondering every time, what was Dad dreaming about? Dad was dreaming about him dancing with Mom on Mount Everest with Krishna Thakur with them, because that's everything that he loved. When you were wherever with Dad, you knew that you were going to learn something, as long as it was not about the stock market. And on that last day, I did not see light in his eyes. And that's when I knew I would not see Dad. He was gone too soon, and Ma says it every day. But I will say little things here and there between people who are speaking, because there are fabulous people here, and fabulous people who wanted to be here. I know that. And we need this closure. Karen, my sister wants to get it. Thank you.
Yes. Where the heck did it go?
You might have let her in on.
ও বাচ্চু তুমি শুনতে পাচ্ছো?
Okay.
It's okay.
বাচ্চু তুমি শুনতে পাচ্ছ?
No, নেই।
Not there.
Just in a minute, I went to go to my minutes.
Okay, well, anyways,
শুনতে পাচ্ছে না।
this is for all the community. Oh, there he is.
বাচ্চু শুনতে পাচ্ছো?
He's on mute. He said শুনতে পাচ্ছে।
Yeah. Okay.
He's on it.
শুনতে পাচ্ছো তো?
Ma?
Okay.
So this closure is because the funeral was during our COVID times, and it was not embracive. It was not as people do in embracing people. And Dad was all about emotion, and he would have wanted that. And he would have had everybody with a beverage in their hand today, like Mahjong tea. And he would have a Shania in the background, and he would have loved seeing all of you. So with much ado, I'm actually going to turn it over to Mom, who surprised me today, who is going to start with a prayer. And she said many other things, maybe in time.
I'll try.
But there's a prayer that is dear to both of them that she's going to start with.
রোজ যেটা বলি ঠাকুরের কাছে, যেটা দুটিবান্ধা রোজ করতো, আমি বিয়ের পরও দেখেছি যে ও কথা বলতো না, কইতে হয়েছিল তো অনেক দেরিতে আনমিট করতো, আর্নিক করে ওই যে 5 ঠাকুরকে দিয়ে তারপরে ও ওইটাকে নিয়ে তারপরে ও মনে মনে কিন্তু কথা বলতো না খাবার সময়। হি ওয়াজ সো ডিসিপ্লিন ফর এ লং টাইম। তারপরে আমি আর বাবা একদিন বললাম, তুমি কেন এরকম করো? ইটস ওকে, তোমার তো অনেকদিন হয়ে গেছে কইতে, তুমি একটা কথা বলতে শুরু করলো। কথা বললে মানে রাতের সময় তক্ক হচ্ছে, ঝগড়া হতো কোন ইউনিভার্সিটি ভালো। বাবা বলতো শোভন আর আমি এক ইউনিভার্সিটিতে পড়েছি, ক্যালকাটা ইউনিভার্সিটি, ওটা ভালো। ও বলতো বেনারস হিন্দু ইউনিভার্সিটি ভালো। বাচ্চু বলতো রাউরকেল্লা ভালো। একটা বিরাট ঝগড়া বেঁধে যেত খাবার টেবিলে। তারপরে অনেক সময় আমার রাগ হয়ে যেত ক্যালকাটা ইউনিভার্সিটি নামে। বাচ্চু বলতো বৌদি আমার কি ইঞ্জিনিয়ারিং সম্বন্ধে জানে, আর বাবা বলতেন তুমি ওর সাইকোলজি সম্বন্ধে কি জানো। বাবা সবসময় আমার দরে থাকতো, মানে আমার শ্বশুর। তারপরে অনেক সময় রাগ হয়ে যেত, চলে যেতাম খাওয়ার টেবিল থেকে, শশা পেছন লাগতো। তারপরে যাই হোক, তারপরে তো এসে যখন এলাম, আর ও আস্তে আস্তে ও দেখলাম ও ভীষণ ঠাকুরের ওপর খুব প্রেয়ার করা, এ করা, রোজ 1 ঘন্টা করে প্রেয়ার করতো ওপরে। ঠাকুর ঘরে ঠাকুর তো বাড়তেই থাকলো যেরকম হয় সবার বাড়িতে। ঠাকুর বেড়েই যাচ্ছে। তারপরে ও পুজো করতো। Oh, Karen, you don't understand what I'm saying, right?
I'm grasping what you're
I'll
saying.
explain it to
She's been in the family
you.
long enough.
I'm talking about life. তারপরে তো উপরে 1.5 ঘন্টা বসে পুজো করতো রোজ। তারপরে আমরাও তাতে অনেক ইনভলভ হতো, আমার মাও আমাদের একটু পুজো করাতো। তারপরে শুনতে পাচ্ছি না।
Diddy's trying to get in. There she is.
তারপরে
There, Diddy's in.
বাচ্চারা দেখছি। যাই হোক, রোজ ঠাকুরকে বলি, ওই আমাদের ইন্সপায়ার করেছে, ঠাকুমা আমাকে ইন্সপায়ার করেছেন। ওর ঠাকুমা, যেটা আমি রোজ বলি গায়ত্রী মন্ত্রটা, সেটা আমার সাথে ওম ভূর্ভুবঃ স্বঃ সবিতুর্বরেণ্যং ভর্গো দেবস্য ধীমহি দেবতায় ওম ভূর্ভুবঃ স্বঃ সবিতুর্বরেণ্যং ভর্গো দেবস্য।
Saying so fast.
আমি জানি আমার রোজ এত তাড়াতাড়ি বলি ওম ভূর্ভুবঃ স্বঃ সবিতুর্বরেণ্যং ভর্গো দেবস্য। ভক্তি করে করজোড়ে মনোপ্রাণ করি পূজা, মনোপ্রাণ করি পূজা।
You said it so fast, like
I know.
to keep up.
অগুরু সন্দন চন্দন সহ ফুল্ল শত দলে পুষ্পাঞ্জলি বিবাহ চরণ ওম গণেশায় নম, ওম দুর্গায় নম, নম শিবায় নম, নম চণ্ডী নম, বিশ্বকর্মা নম, জগদ্ধাত্রী নম, সর্বদেবতা নম, ওম বিষ্ণুমহেশ্বর নম, জগদ্ধাত্রী নম, দুর্গা নম, কালী নম, নম মা সরস্বতী, মা লক্ষ্মী, গণেশ, কার্তিক, সর্বদেবতা। ওকে, তারপরে আমি আমার অফিসে যেটা আমাকে করতে হতো রোজ রিকভারিতে, সেরেনিটি প্রেয়ারটা রোজই বলি। God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. যেটা আমাকে এখন অ্যাকসেপ্ট করতেই হবে, ও চলে গেছে, আমি কি করতে পারি, আই ক্যানট চেঞ্জ। সো আমার এই যে মনের কষ্টটা নিয়েই আমায় বাঁচতে হবে, এটা আমাকে অ্যাকসেপ্ট করতে হবে, বিকজ আই ক্যানট চেঞ্জ দ্য সিচুয়েশন, রাইট? সেটা খুব হার্ড আমার পক্ষে। আর ও রবীন্দ্রনাথের কথায় খালি ওই কথাটাই মনে হয়, যেটা আমি সেদিকে লিখেছি অলকার লেখার পরে, যে সে চলে গেল বলে গেল না, রবীন্দ্রনাথ যেটা লিখে গেছেন। তারপরে ও আমাকে আমার এখন একটু এটা একটুখানি আমার মানে it is my personal thing, but he wrote it to me just before marriage.
He wrote it to Mom.
At a poem, but it is so dear to me. I read it all the time. But even though I should not be reading this personal matter, but it just happened that way.
It's a love letter.
Yeah. বলেছে আমার মানুষনার প্রতি, কবিতাটার নাম। যখন তুমি থাকবে আমার সনে অদূর ভবিষ্যতে, মনে রেখো তুমি প্রতিক্ষণে, বিরহ মিলনের সাথে ভাসবে মোদের ভেলা। হয়তো আমি অনেক বড় হব, হয়তো বা হারিয়ে যাব পিছিয়ে পড়ার দলে, তবু মনের মাঝে থাকবে তুমি অহরহ, আমার প্রতি কাজে কোনো এক চমকে যাওয়া রাতে আমার চলা যাবে থেমে জানবে তুমি পারবে না তো অগর ঘুমের মাঝে ভোরের পাখির ডাকে তোমার ঘুম তখন তোমার ঘুমের তখন আমি হারিয়ে গেছি তোমার গভীর বুকের মাঝে
So do you want to translate
এটা
for
লিখেছিল
Sharon only?
Oh, no.
Okay, he said that when you will be always with me in my every aspect of my life. You are always by my side, and but maybe I'll be one of the successor in life, or otherwise maybe I'll be in the I join the group that loses everything, or they are not very successful. So, but one of the nights that you will not know that I will maybe I'll pass away, but you will be sleeping and you will not know that I'm gone. I'll be হারিয়ে গেছি means I'm lost
I'll be lost.
in your heart. So that's what he wrote, and he wrote many poems for my children and everybody, and this is my personal poem book. Nene wrote, Bubuli wrote, I wrote, so these are my personal
I
things
wrote a
anyway.
poem there. Why is not everybody writing about me?
So he used to write all those things, and but I tell you, he taught us many things. He's always reading different books. He's interested, and especially the English literature he was very fond of, like Charlotte Bronte, Emily Bronte, and Philippa Gregory was his most favorite books. I have the whole collection. Every book is coming out, he has to buy that, and a lot of people, and like Dolon got some of them, and a lot of other people are interested. And it's a romantic, also historical novel, but fiction. It is like fiction. It is not real story. So you should read all that. But on the side, you always did Gita, Ramayan, and Chandi. Every day he will read those and taught Nene and Bubudi a lot of the, a lot of Hindu cultural things. It is hard to tell you that how much he taught them, and they were raised with both the Occidental and Oriental culture very well. And especially he was very interested with the mountaineering when Jayanto comes in, and Jayanto is very much interested with the with all the mountaineering and all that, and he knew every mount, all the things happened in the mountaineering, like who took the expedition and where and when. So one of these days we went to Science Museum, and Tenzing's son came. What is his name? And he was so interested, so we all went there. And you won't believe what happened. He was pushing everybody, even though we got the tickets, but as if he's going to go fast in the line. And I said, no, you got the tickets. You don't have to push everybody. But he wanted to go in the auditorium. And then he pushed everybody and went on the top of the auditorium. And there were a lot of expeditions they were showing, especially the Spanish expedition and Indian expedition, and Tenzing's son was sitting in front. But what happened when one of the expeditions, he was almost submitting, and that time I said, what happened to him? He's not pushing me, not talking to me. Actually, he fell asleep. It is so nice in the auditorium because it was a summer afternoon, and the air conditioning was so good. And then I don't hear anything talking. Then I had push. And then I said, hey, তুমি ঘুমিয়ে পড়েছো? And then he said, oh my God, hey, don't tell anybody. First thing he said, don't tell anybody, because he knew that I'll make fun of him.
So she
and
tells
I'll tell
everybody.
all the friends, and then I'll tell everybody. So that was the fun part I remember. And then he taught us one thing that we always follow, that every day is a celebration, and take every day and celebrate life. It is very important that, and then I learned also from him that how to bring the life in the table. I decorate my table when anybody comes, whatever
That is so true.
we serve, but it has to be served in a very nice way and properly. হ্যাঁ, চিনতে পারিনি এত সুন্দর দেখাচ্ছে মাস্ক পরে কাউকে চিনতে পারছি না আয় চিত্ত আয় হ্যাঁ তো এসো এসো
অনেকক্ষণ বসেছি
so that what we learned how to enjoy life, because honestly he enjoyed every moment of his life. That's why we traveled all over the world, and every time he's thinking of going somewhere, and we used to call him like he has wheels in his legs, you know. Any weekend, any place, Manu, কোথাও যাবে? চলো আমরা কোথাও ঘুরে আসি। And we have to go somewhere. And Bubuli became the same way, my older daughter, and then Bubuli will buy the tickets to go somewhere, and it is her, we spend money for their education, but they spend for our vacations. So Bubuli buys all the tickets and Nene too now. And now Bachu's son is getting married in January. So we are all going to Cancun, and Bubuli is, Ma, don't be sad. Ma, think of going to Cancun and think of daddy, how much he enjoyed there. And now we are going to enjoy with Bachu Kaku. And Neil will be there, Billy will be there, we
Karen
will
will
be
be
enjoying
there.
so much. And Karen is coming too. First it was restricted that we cannot go to Mexico, but now Bible letting us go. So now she will take over. I'm talking too much. And
So that was my hint of like, okay, and let's let other people talk because you're taking up everybody's comments probably.
right.
So basically, Ma covered everything about Dad. So Dad had these mannerisms. Everyone, when I was studying, I learned about the meaningfulness of life and the things that we take for granted. Now, this house is way big for 2 people. And Dad's footsteps, for instance, we take for granted of these footsteps that we memorize of ourselves. And Dad would come down. You knew that he was coming down. He was awake. I'm like, oh my gosh. And then he would make his love tea for Mom. And then he would go back up the stairs, and you knew when he was up the stairs. Now he was stuck near the modem, and we would lose internet for a little bit. So I would always tell Dad, and Dad had this notion, I don't know if he ever did this to everybody, he probably did this to everybody. He would say your name randomly and then have no outcome out of that and just walk on. So some people had an idea of how to deal with that. I never did. Didi had an idea of how to deal with that. He would say Babi, and she would say Babi. Didi, it was just something that you had to deal with. Me, for instance, he never did it to Mom. He probably had a good idea not to do it to Mom because Mom didn't have. He's like, I'll probably be given something to do or something, or honey-do doodle list. But when he did it to me, this is my reaction. Dad, why do you have to be so annoying? Or when he came into my room to give me a kiss on the head, Dad, why do you have to be so annoying? Well, I'm missing those things now. I miss him popping his head into my room. Boy, my office is downstairs now, and I would love his head to pop into my room. I would love him to interrupt me during my television show right now when he opens the garage. Karen asked me if I hear the garage. I knew that I don't hear the garage from my room because, well, I could never hear Dad come into my apartment. That annoyed me. Now I want Dad to come into my apartment. I want to hear those footsteps close my door so I know that Dad's nowhere around. But now I want him around. I want to hear Dad taking up, and Ma never noticed that he would give the same cup that says I love you to Mom with chocolate. Ma never noticed that. We all noticed it. He always gave Mom his love chop. Mom, the same cup that said I love you. Now I'm going to hand it off to somebody else now. And I'm going to actually hand it off to Karen.
Okay, yeah, Karen.
And then I have my own list.
Okay.
Karen has something a story that no one actually has ever heard before.
everything, so I'll come up with
Right,
something.
exactly. I'm not sure everything.
Basically, give me a second, I'll come up with something.
Then we have some songs.
Songs and all that stuff. All right.
I'll take this down so everyone can hear me. Oh, wow, he was such a wonderful man. I know I only known him briefly, but it's so funny. Like Tierney and I would talk. It's like, portion of you is like my dad. I'm like, well, what portion? Like math. I got a degree in math. He teaches math. I still remember times we would do math problems or one of my kids would bring back and I'm like looking at it, scratching my head. I'm like, it can't be that simple. And I'll bring the math problem over. It's like, oh yeah, it is that simple. Or he would be talking about his students in class. Or we would talk about the honeydew list. He'll call us like, hey Karen, can you do this? And I'm like, yeah, no problem. Come over, help with lights or anything. And Tierney would be like, hey, she does not come over here to just do things. I'm like, I have absolutely no problem. Whatever your dad needs, we have no problem helping him with. Or the breakfast. I love the breakfast part when he had the tea and the eggs, the apple juice or something like that. Calling down, it's breakfast time. I'm like, okay, no problem. Or someone taking the eggs because someone doesn't like eggs or anything like that, putting them to somebody else's plate. Sneaking the eggs into somebody else's plate while he's not looking.
She was sneaking off the Karen's plate.
To where they talked about how he's such a religious person. So one year, the kids got him a candle. And I don't remember the saying, and I'm not sure if Brian remembers the saying, bought him a candle and it had something about God in the stars or something like that. As soon as he got home, he was so excited, he called and said, hey, Karen, I put it right there where his temple is, where he prays in it and everything like that. He's like, I light it all the time. And sure enough, went up there and seen him, it's right there, beautiful. I'm like, I'm glad it made it happen. So the last week was an interesting week. A lot happened in that week between voting. So one of the stories I was going to mention real quick was voting the second. So the group, all five of us went voting. I told Teeny we're going to do like a tag team event. So Teeny went, got the wheelchair for her dad. I would, of course, wheelchair him in. She stayed with her mom. And it's the cutest thing. So by the time, fast forward, we get into the car and we're talking about voting, this and that. And it's like, hey, did you get the back of the voting? He's like, there's a back to the voting. And he's like freaking out in the cutest way. He's like, oh my God, I better hurry up and go vote. And we're laughing at the same time. It's like, no, don't worry. It's all right. As long as you got the most important person on there. He's like, yeah, I got that. And I'm like, don't worry about that last one.
He was trying to get out of the car.
He was trying to get out of the car and go back. He's like, I better go back and get the last few people. I'm like, no, it's all right. I promise you, it's all right. He was just like, oh my God. He said, no, you're
like a little child.
It's like a little child. I love him. Oh my
And you
God.
will always accept it, that his mistake, he did it.
It's
And
such an amazing.
Karen was there on the last day. She stayed with Mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, the last day was an interesting day. And I ran upstairs. He felt at peace. And he's like, okay, Karen's here. He told me, call 911. I'm like, I got it.
To the hospital. So I said, you went last 3 weeks, you have been to the hospital. They could not find anything. It's the wrong time to go to the hospital. He said, he did not pay attention to me. He called Nene and Karen.
He's like, oh, Karen.
And then 3 o'clock in the morning, and he's pacing this way, that way. And then they came running and called the ambulance. And I was so angry. I was tired all day because he wanted to eat egg and potato and mixed with the rice, like Ma and Dad, Ma mix it. Aloo hate chotke. So we sat on the bed. I put a towel and then we both ate together. And I gave a little bit to Nene. He said, don't forget Nene. So we all ate, and then I gave him a back massage and his leg massage, his head massage. He still couldn't sleep. And he's going up and down, up and down. And he said, hey, you drink some tea? What is that tea? I said, the sleepy tea. And he's the one who taught me to drink that, because one of his students used to get from his mom. So I gave him some tea. He said, I'm not feeling sleepy. So he said, no, let me go to the bathroom, but nothing happened. So he came back and they called the ambulance. So ambulance was there, made him sit here a half an hour. And he said, I'm pretty cold. And then they put a blanket on him. Then they left. And then after like a couple of hours, they called me from the hospital and said that he has gallbladder infection. So we have to do something. I said, okay, but with this weekend we cannot do anything. So we have to wait till Monday. And I was happy they found something. So then in 2 hours, his doctor, COPD doctor called me and then said, he's not going to live tonight. I said, what do you mean? He's going to go. And he sounded like an idiot. I said, you know, and he is also from a different country, South America. And I said, why? He doesn't know anything. And they must have gotten a COVID for him because he was going to so many testing and all that. So
I think he was collateral damage of the pandemic. Or if you don't have COVID right now, you get pushed away. And he was
Yeah,
pushed away
because
4 times.
he had so severe, this problem, Nishash, and then he was breathing so hard. Then I said, no, I'm coming right over. I didn't believe him. So we almost ran, 3 of us, and we couldn't
right
find
straight to the
him. Then he
hospital.
went upstairs. He was in the intensive care, and it was so bad. He looked like so many nurses and doctors. They were flocking together, talking to each other, and I knew then it was something wrong. Then immediately, they called some code blue or something because he couldn't breathe anymore, and the machine stopped, and there was a noise, big noise. So they had to let us come out of the room.
I was trying to walk you both out
Yeah.
as they were bringing a cart in, bringing a crash cart in.
Yeah.
I'm trying to walk you out. You're holding and I'm like doing multiple things, trying to bring you into
Then
ADL.
they tried to revive him, and then he, after a few minutes, they said, "Oh, we got his heartbeat back." So we were happy, and then they let me go again and let me sit near the window far from him. But I didn't listen to them. I went close to him, and Nene and me both kind of, putting our hands in his hair and all that. And there was nobody there. That time only one nurse. And then he stopped breathing, and then the nurse says he's gone. So I did Colorado. Before that, doctor came and asked me to sign something, that sign that DNR, like they would not resuscitate anymore. So I was mad. I said, no, I'm not going to sign that. So I called my brother-in-law, and he said, Bodhi, don't sign it. Then I called Bubuli, and Bubuli said, Ma, wait a few minutes, I'll call a lawyer. So she called the lawyer, and the lawyer asked me not to sign that. So I did not sign anything. In the meantime, so that happened. So they did not, even though I did not sign it, but still they did not resuscitate. So I was mad. I thought I'll sue them, but the lawyer said it's no use because they also have lawyers and they're very powerful, and it will be hell of your life to go through that, and they'll bring up so many things, and it will be bad memory for him, for you, and it is not good to go through that. So we gave up. Yeah. Karen, I'm sorry, I took over.
You're fine. You're
I
fine.
took over again. Anyway, let other people.
So,
I'm good.
you good?
Jointo
So-
was very fond of him. British Mountain, yes.
Yeah, it's so you can see
Yes.
and
So
the
Zoom is right there.
the zoom's right there in the thing.
Love you so much.
Carnival is right there
Huh?
too.
Oh, good. Good. But he asked me so many things, and I told him all his favorites, the authors and the singers and dancing and all that.
Okay, I'm here.
But
All right, so those of you who don't know me or my wife,
Yeah.
I'm Joanto, and it's my wife Shelley, and we live in Hanover, the Upper Valley. We've known Dhutivanda for almost 25 years now. So we were talking about all the grim things at the end of his life, which is absolutely understandable. I want to take you back to the first day when we met the two of them. And this was, we had just moved to Hanover up in the Upper Valley. It's a bit of, it's a bit
Yeah,
out of the way.
Lebanon, New
In the
Hampshire.
Lebanon area, where Dartmouth College is, and it's out in the sticks. So we were looking for people to hang out with, and we came to know of this Waila Boishakh celebration in Manchester. So we showed up, and it was all very well organized. It used to be in the church, Shobana, if you remember, in those days,
Yes.
1996.
Oh my goodness.
And so we didn't know them at the time. And so I see this woman playing the harmonium like an angel. Unbelievable, fingers flying. And backup tabla player was right behind her. He was just as much into it as she was.
Yeah.
And there was this gentleman, Bangladeshi gentleman, let's say his singing skills were a little bit behind his talent, or so. He launched into a big rendition of the Bangladeshi anthem. And this woman, she's trying to frantically find the scale at which he's singing. And the man's trying to keep up just as frantically, tabla, but never making the guy look like that he was, he was not that great as he thought he was. That's the kind of person Tuti Manda was. It was always made you feel good. And just to Shobana provide the segue, the film that she was talking about was a film on Everest that they showed at the Science Museum. Jamling Norgay was Tenzing's son. He was the guest there.
Right.
And that's what I came to know
Norgay, right.
Tuti Manda's interest in mountain climbing. I had always been an avid reader of climbing literature, Bonington, etc., etc. That's not important. But Tuti Manda also brought up the name of David Brashears, who lived in Newton, Wellesley, says Massachusetts guy who climbed Everest twice without oxygen.
Yes.
And so every time I met him at the BNE Pujo or anywhere else, we would just get into this long discussion about mountaineering, and he was the only person that I could really talk to about that. So again, I'm just going to end right here. Memories, there are many, many memories. We've known you guys for a very long time, and thanks for giving me the opportunity
No,
to share
but
some of that.
that person from New Hampshire who climbed the mountain, right?
He was from Massachusetts,
From
David
Massachusetts.
Brashears, yeah.
And he called a couple of times.
Did he? Oh.
Yeah, he called a couple of times. talked
Well,
to him.
Duti Manda had planned to get him for
Yeah,
a
for
talk or
Bengali-
something like that.
Bengali
Right, exactly.
Association to talk about his mountaineering skills.
He's
and all
quite the
that.
celebrity.
Yeah,
Okay, thank you.
great. Jhanna, কিছু বলবি? Oh, you have to- okay, নাটক কি আছে? একজনটা একটু দাঁড়াবো? না, পরে দাঁড়াবো। তো যদি ইচ্ছা জানাতে পারিস এখানে কার্পেট আছে বলে
Nan, can you hear me?
Yes, I can, Didi.
Okay.
Yeah, just to, sorry to interrupt. Just to let you know, the coffee will be delivered between 3 and 15.
এই মাটিতে বসে
The coffee what?
The coffee will be delivered between 3 and 3:15.
Okay.
Can you tell Karen?
Yes, between 3 and what?
3 and 3:15.
3 and 15.
দীপ্ত আমার
3 and
সঙ্গী
15.
they love me
Yeah,
too
an hour.
much আমি জানি না আমার ভাই আর বোন ভালোবাসে মানে খুব দুঃখ হয়েছে আমি ওদের 7 তারিখ আসতে বলি আমি তো বলিনি না
বলো কিন্তু আমাদের হয়
এটা কৌশিক মানে মাছ না খেলে
এটা এই তো কৌশিক এসছে আমাদের কৌশিক একটা এত সুন্দর একটা মেসেজ পাঠিয়েছিল বলি চুপটা খুলে দেখতে পাচ্ছি এবার চিনতে পেরেছি ওকে এই যে কৌশিক আমাদের ডবল চিল
showing your nice back posture to the camera.
সরি
সবাই কৌশিক সবাই কৌশিককে চেনো
চিনতে পারবো না
এবার দেখো কৌশিককে চিনতে পেরেছো সবাই সব থেকে ভালো তবলা বাজায়
হ্যাঁ
Yeah, I'm sorry, let's just screen now.
ও এত সুন্দর লিখেছে তোমাকে কে তাড়াতাড়ি চলে যেতে বলেছে
পেছনটা দেখা যাচ্ছে
তুমি আমাদের ছিলে ইন্সপিরেশন তুমি আমাদের অভিভাবক ওর মেসেজটা এত চমৎকার আমি জীবনেও ভুলবো না এত সুন্দর যে মানুষ ফোন থেকে মানুষকে অ্যাটাচ করে
হাত দিয়ে দিই
এও তাই এই তো আমার ভাই
He will sing first.
both of you. Show me your আয় তোকে দাদা করবি ওই বাবারে বাচ্চাটা এসছে ঋষভ এসছে ও ঋষভ এসছে লেনে you go ahead ওদের চিনিস তো সৌমিয়া না না ওরা মেসেজ শুসবেরিতে থাকে কিন্তু কেন জানি না এত ভালোবাসে আমাকে এত কিভাবে রাখে যে ওর বউ আমাকে খুব ভালোবাসে ভীষণ ভালোবাসে ওকে চলো ও বাবা আমাকে মনে আছে
ঋষভ সাইড
এই সুমতি ঋষভকে চিনতে পারছিস?
আচ্ছা বাবা
কত বছর পরে বলো?
কত বড় হয়ে গেছে আমার সাথে খেলা করতো হ্যাঁ
ঠিক আছে বলুন।
আর ও তোর
শিরন শিরন
তোর কোছড়ে করে খেললাম দিস আমার জন্য মাই গড আর বলছে একটু পয়সা দেবে তারপরে পয়সা দিলাম আমার ছক করে পড়লো পেশি থেকে আর দিবের বলে কাউকে বলে না ও আর আরেকটা গুন্ডা ছিল ওর সাথে ওকে তোরা এই ড্রাইভার মাটিতে বসে যা নাকি
হ্যাঁ সব ঠিক আছে উনি শিরন
Okay, so next, I wanted to say something. Thank you for all the comments.
রেকর্ডিং
Just
হচ্ছে
going outstanding.
আর গুগলি আর বা সবাই দেখছে কেন
জায়গা নেই
দেখা যাচ্ছে
হ্যাঁ না হোয়াটস ইউর হেড
বলাই দিতে
Puja was maybe? What the puja was? It was on that table.
আমি তো কি না কেউ কাউকে মাছ
কাউকে চিনতে পারছি না মাছ করে সব শুনেছে না
এখানে ক্যামেরাটা না কেউ বলবেন না। ঠিক আছে তুমি একদম
All right, yeah.
So be careful.
তুমি মাঠের জন্য বসতেছো সুমতি ঠিক আছে আর শেয়ার
Sorry about that.
আমি যে বাড়িতে বসতে পারবো না
ওরও একটু বসলে
বসতে পারবো না
L3 L4
ওকে চলো
All right, so I want to mention that Dad had his course, and like Ma said, the celebration of everyone. And everybody, Dad would come on and he would come in and relax, and he was the most patient man I ever knew. And one thing he said to me was, a happy minute is a happy family, a happy household. An angry minute is a spiritual and fearful household. And this was during his I miss his love advice to me. And whenever Dad went like this to you, you knew you did something very well. So with the last person I actually dated, Dad made the decision for me. We dropped him off at the bus stop. He said, garbage. Not at all. And then he said, be who you are. I don't know who you're trying to please. Don't try to please the community. Don't try to please anybody. Be happy. Be yourself. While massaging Ma's neck. And he's like, Ma and I want you to be happy. And if that means that you have to be yourself, be true to yourself. So I don't know what that meant, but when Karen came over, that got me out of the house, which is a big deal. And then that got me out of the house again. And then Dad laid back in his chair in the study and said, like this, because she had 3 big garbage bags in her hand, and Dad didn't have to take out the garbage that day. And ever since then, it was like, are you going to Karen's? Can Karen? And it was like, okay, so obviously, and then she has so much in common with Dad. The other day, she said, we only have one life. we must enjoy it. And I'm here going, can you say that one more time? Because that's exactly what Dad said almost every single day. And this one, my mom said the other day to me, I'm at lunch, I'm scarfing down my food because I only have half an hour. And she's going, we had so many plans to travel. I'm here going, Ma, what are you going to hit the Southern Hemisphere now? Because you took care of the Northern Hemisphere. They still had plans going on. And I'm here going, you have got to be
No,
kidding me.
I'm saying that he's gone, so we don't have. we
But they
cannot
still
travel
have
anymore.
plans. And I'm here going, I understand. Okay, so now we have more plans. Shulanugadidi has a surprise for us. Please.
Shutulika is a great speaker, by the way.
I know.
And she's the.
আমাদের judge করতে দাও।
president of- Yeah.
Because
No, we know.
Thank you, Shani.
If I start again, I'll take over.
You want?
That's why whenever chance came, I always invite Shubhanaka to say something.
Yeah.
In the BNE function and stuff.
Well, today is not the day
No.
to show our expertise in anything. Today is all about the man himself, relentlessly, unapologetically, and passionately lover of life. That is Dutimanda to me, and to many of us. I've slept on that rug several nights after a long party and after vacuuming the whole house, cleaning up, doing the dishes, loading the dishwasher, and then at the
We have the
Right.
central vacuum cleaner.
yes,
And they will all fight who's going
right.
to do that.
And
They
then
love it.
at 1 o'clock in the night, Dutimanda will tell me to sit down, relax, calm down, and he'll offer me port wine. I learned to drink port wine from Dutimanda. And then he'll say, "Onek kaj hoyeche, Shutonuka, ebar bosho, onek kaj hoyeche." And then he'll do our bed here,
Yeah.
so we can crash for the night. And we are also and I are already talking about next day's luchi and torkari. Chinan was what I'm talking about. So anyways, as I said, today is not the day to talk about ourselves or anybody else except Dutimanda and Shodi, because I almost say it as one word, Dida Shodi. And 1 year, wow. I still cannot believe 1 year ago.
শোনা চিঠি বাড়ি যাচ্ছি, তুমি ভুল বলেছো নামটা। এরকম করে করে বলতো একটু।
1 year ago, as we were sitting in the funeral home, and I was there when the button turned on,
Yeah.
and he went in. Shobhanadi had a little bit of a jolt. So did Nene, Karen, and Bubuli. It was a bad day. But again, talking about Dutimanda, I did not want to write a speech because I found a song that describes and defines Dutimanda. My daughter, who loved coming here as an infant and as a toddler and as a child, she sang a song for Dutimanda. I recorded it, and she's camera shy and she's people shy.
She will sit near
So-
me near the sink. Shona
So
Devi,
I recorded it and I'll play that song, but I will read a few lines from that song because, as I said, this defines Dutimanda, the unapologetic, relentless, passionate lover of life. As Nene said, every single day was a party for him. Every single day was a celebration for him. I have never seen that man ever ever badmouth a single person, ever bitch about backbite, say anything negative, even in the hardest of times. As Shobhanadi was in the hospital, where a team of doctors, Janadi, you remember, a team of doctors telling us that she may not live. And we are all crying. And Dutimanda is saying, don't worry, Panaralo. She moved her legs. She's fine. She's fine. It's gonna be fine. And when my mom, I said, Shobhanadi, party korte hobe, Dutimanda sange nachbe ke? And her leg went up. When my mom heard about the news of Dutimanda's passing, she said, Vicky, Dutimani to Dutimandai to oshud deয় Shobhanake. Shobhana to কিচ্ছু জানে না। ওষুধ খাবে কিভাবে? Because she has no clue what her meds are. I'm sure now Nene and Karen have taken over. Dutimanda had little small boxes, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and he knew what meds this one has to take. So, as I said, I can go on and on, but I wouldn't. And now that when the end was near, and so we face the final curtain. My friend, I'll make it clear, this man will state his case, of which I'm certain. He's lived a life that is full. He traveled each and every highway, and now more and much more than that, he did it his way. Regrets, he probably had a few, but then again, too few to mention. He did what he had to do and saw it through without exemption. As I mentioned, and I'll reiterate, passionately, relentlessly, unapologetically, lover of life, Dutimanda.
Love that song.
I'm going to play that song, and I think song says more words. So I face the final curtain, my friend. I'll say it clear. I'll say my case, which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full. I travel each and every highway and more. So, yes, so. Senior. No, she's turning 17. So, as I said, no speech is enough for Tutimanda. And if Tutimanda, it's always good to imagine if Tutimanda was to host this, there would be 5 check-ins on beverages already by this time, 5 check-ins on chairs and tables, and about 50 mommies.
Oh,
Mommy,
yeah.
mommy,
Where's mommy? Is she in the bathroom? What- what?
mommy, Tutimanda choke harato. Shobana dike. So, if somebody wants to have a husband, a lover, a friend, or a father, and a son too, because I've heard a lot of stories from Tutimanda about his mother. That's the man. And my dad is my hero, and Tutimanda finishes a very close second.
Thank you so much. Love you so much.
Okay. So. That was really nice.
Yes.
So we're gonna keep. We have heard that someone in India is facing a travesty right now. Sean has written something for us. Tina Bean's here. And,
By the way, he's in India because his dad is very sick, having dialysis. But he called me early morning. His mother, him, and Shantanu. And his father also was very fond of Tutimanda. And he was also talking that how he danced with me when we had a party in their house. And mother sang with me. So it was so lovely. They're more than my relative. They're just like our Akio. Tina's Baba Mao ঠিক তাই. Tina's parents are also like that. They come here, we go malls and we go to the farm, we go everywhere. And then when we have a party in their house, it's like coming home. It is so beautiful. And we spent so many nights with them, and we had beautiful, beautiful food. And Tina will be like my daughter, Indian style. She will serve me in a big platter, and so beautiful to go to their houses. And the little Sean, he will. Shiron will, in his little t-shirt, he will bring all his toys from downstairs to show Tutimanda. Kaku, Jetu. Then he'll drop everything on the floor, and then the whole room, he had to make 5-6 trips to get it all his toys. And he will explain every toy to us. It was such a beautiful relationship. I'm
so
sorry.
Tina, do you?
Yeah, and I also want to say, Shobana, I'm looking at your blouse. I know Ma made you hand painted a sari
that's
and a
right.
blouse for you.
ওর মা
And Tutimanda,
আমার জন্য করে
Punjabi.
দিয়েছে একটা শাড়ি এরকম this embroidered and also for Tutimanda Punjabi, and I wore it last week, so I couldn't wear it this week. And this goina is given by Nene to me, so I had to wear it. So
I was at
the love
yeah.
is so much.
So like she said, they're my family here. And whenever my parents, my in-laws would be here, all they would look forward to is coming to Shobana's house. They have apple picking here, and I don't know what not. And
Climb in the mountain,
all
the
good
tree,
moments,
yeah.
yes. Yeah.
That's right,
So
I forgot about that.
so I'm going to play something that my husband Shantanu wrote from. I told him to recite it because I'm not a good reciter. I wish I could do the job that Tanu was doing, but I'll just play his voice so that you guys can hear it. I don't have a
You want to-
speaker.
You want to
He's
do that?
crying.
Let me try this.
나이코 줘라 기타 바다시 기티가 넣거라 지루스틱 흐무드 마시 기타 지루 샤몰 타라 지루조스나 닐라가시 와신들 와르데기 The music that transcends time, distance, and linguistic barriers has a noble cause of fulfillment. It shall spread the glory of life, harmony, and love through the cycles of happiness and grief, resilience, warmth, and coldness.
Probably yours.
When a human
এখন আমার কালো ব্যাগটা দেখো তো।
দরকার নেই, দীপালি দেওয়ার দরকার নেই।
আমার কাছে
দরকার নেই।
হ্যাঁ সাথী ছাড়া কাল হবে।
হ্যাঁ, সাথী ছাড়া কার হবে? সাথীকে সবারই দরকার আছে।
Yes, everybody needs shopping machine, so that's.
Okay,
Okay, I'm gonna
let's focus back to
just
that.
continue.
Yeah.
when a human soul embraces the essence of such music and writes unison, it takes on a new shape and form, defining Dujima challenge. Beyond the abstractness, it would be rather challenging to define the man's attributes, lest we render an incomplete profile. A metallurgical engineer turned mathematician who indulged intensely in historical novels of Philippa Gregory or dramatic creations of Shakespeare, dreamed of mountaineering while drowning in the richness of the Beatles and Boo, Elvis Presley, Rabindra Sangeet, Baul, and Bhatyari. Then rhythm wouldn't evade his verb and voice either, as he would find the perfect partner in his beloved wife, jiving spontaneously to waltz or cha-cha-cha, urging the word to live the moment. With a new morning, he would bask in the pride of his heritage, deeply rooted in Bangaliana, Brahmo, and donning the horse and pajama, sitting cross-legged with a kitul bital on his lap, or striking the tabla with flair, one could find the soul of a man seeking nirvana in the austerity of his welcoming. The lines from Mary Elizabeth Fry. Do not stand at my grave and weep. I am not there. I do not sleep. I am in 1,000 winds that blow. I am the softly falling snow. I am the gentle showers of rain. I am the fields of ripening grain. I am in the morning hush. I am in the graceful rush of beautiful birds in circling flight. I am the starshine of the night. I am in the flowers that bloom. I am in a quiet room. I am in the birds that sing. I am loving thing. Do not stand at my grave. I am not there. I do not die.
Actually,
Shakti.
আমি জানি তুমি জানি
Brianna and I are gonna sing it. Okay, so. All right. Karen, do you want to sit up here so we can hear the music? So,
Sure.
okay, so Dad always wanted me to sing at festivals, and I never did actually. So, getting nervous now. So, as his request, this is Brianna, Karen's older daughter, and she's going to be accompanying me in a song, and I feel every word is important because it's exactly how I feel right now and how the house feels, and how I felt every single time Dad would go to the hospital and come back to me, and come back to me, and come back to me. And though we were a dynamic team, I lost my tennis partner, lost a lot in him, and I better not choke up before I sing. So most people know this song, and it's quite hard to sing, but I have to choose it. So here we go.
Oh, you know the song.
Yes, ready? All right, we're gonna wait for the ad part to go. Here about roughly 11 seconds, okay? And I can skip it. One, two, three. It's about to start right now. It's about to start. It's about to start right now. Here you go. It goes real quick. Hold on to me, 'cause I'm a little unsteady. A little unsteady. Hold on to me, 'cause I'm a little unsteady. A little unsteady. Mama, come here, approach, appear. Dad, I'm alone. This house don't feel like home. If you love me, don't let go. Whoa. If you love me, don't let go. Hold on to me, 'cause I'm a little unsteady. A little unsteady. Hold on to me, 'cause I'm a little unsteady. A little unsteady. Mother, I know you're tired of being alone. Dad, I know you're trying to fight when you feel like flying. If you love me, don't let go. Whoa. Yeah. If you love me, don't let go. Hold on to me, 'cause I'm a little unsteady. A little unsteady.
'cause I'm a little unsteady. A little unsteady. Oh, hold on to me, 'cause I'm a little unsteady. A little unsteady.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Good job, guys. One note. It is all
Wonderful
steady
job,
and
guys.
Wonderful job. Because I know how hard to sing this song.
Such a deep voice.
Thank you. It's really hard.
This song is very hard to sing.
Very hard. And they did
And then
this
it
one
opened,
note.
Beautiful.
গান
I've never heard you sing it. This is the
বলতে
first time anywhere.
পারে, ভালো বলতে
Yeah,
পারে,
anyway,
কি
yeah.
ভালো
Maybe
পিয়ানো
you sing
বাজায়।
He always knew how I sang, just.
আবার
ভালো গেছিস আমার।
আমি যখন হসপিটালে ছিলাম ওই পিয়ানো বাজাতো ওখানে সবাই শুনতো পিয়ানো ভীষণ ভালো বাজায় গান তো আমার কাছে বাংলা গানও রবীন্দ্রসঙ্গীতও জানে কিন্তু আমার বলবে সবাই হাসবে আমার কথা যদি একটু এদিক ওদিক হয়
That's why I didn't sing a Bengali song. I went for English.
দোলে দোলে ফুলে ফুলে বা ওই আরেকটা
Brianna, it's wonderful. Thank you very much. I needed Brianna's voice
you
to carry
both
her.
also match so well. You did not even miss one little note. Oh.
Oh my gosh.
চিনতে পারছি না কারুকে মাঝে
Okay, so I have a couple of tracks on the list.
You may not want to be like
আমরা বসার জায়গা পাচ্ছি
না
না
কোনো অসুবিধা নেই
আমার ছেলে আছে ওই ঘরে অনেক
Yep, okay. So Tutu uncle is here. Mommy, are you ready to sing? Because it's
আমার খাতা পাতা কিছু নেই বানাতে পারে
Tutu uncle's coming. You're singing. You're singing. Okay, Ma's gonna sing next actually with Tutu uncle.
ভালো নেই রে তবে চলছে
Tutu uncle's gonna come and sing dance. Ma's gonna sing now. Ma's gonna sing. Yes.
Daddy favorite song.
He's coming.
Why?
ছোট
Is Tutu fine? Is Tutu fine?
কাকে ডাকছো
ডাক্তারি করছিলি আজকে?
না না
কোথায় রে? কোথায় রে? তুই না গাইলে আমি গাইতে পারবো না বাবা তো দেখতেই পাই সুন্দর দেখাচ্ছি
দাদা আমার শেষ তো
তোর বাড়িতে
হ্যাঁ না
গেছিলি? Oh, that's so nice. Thank you. Our money এনেছিস. That's so sweet. আর এলো না?
তুলে দিব
সবাই তাই দেখতে পাবে। Lovely.
বাহ,
Oh my gosh, that's so beautiful.
তোদের বাড়িতে
Why is so nice? Oh, we love that picture.
পরে
ভীষণ
নিয়েছে ওর
সুন্দর।
বাড়িটা নিয়েছে আমি কি একটু দেখি বাবা?
খুব সুন্দর।
It's yours forever.
Oh.
Thank you so much for doing it. Oh. Yeah, I can put it right up there. Yeah, I can put it up there. Are you gonna sing?
Yeah.
I think she's trying to get
ঠিক আছে। আমি তাহলে চলো তুমি চলে এসো।
মাঝে মাঝে তব দেখা পাই, চিরদিন কেন পাই না। মাঝে মাঝে তব দেখা পাই, কেন মে আসে হৃদয় আকাশে তোমার দেখিতে দেয় না। মাঝে তব দেখা ক্ষণিক আলোকে আখির পলকে তোমায় যবে পাই দেখিতে, ক্ষণিক আলোকে আখির পলকে তোমায় যবে পাই দেখিতে, হারাই হারাই সদা হয় ভয়, হারাইয়া ফেলি ঝুঁকিতে। মাঝে মাঝে তব দেখা পাই, কি করিলে বল পাইব তোমারে, রাখিব আখিতে আখিতে। এত প্রেম আমি কোথা পাবো আর, তোমার হৃদয়ে রাখিতে। আর কারো পানে চাহিব নয়ন, করিব হে আমি প্রাণপণ। আর কারো পানে চাহিব নয়ন,
So I'm gonna ask one question. Okay. So, one thing that people came here to do, is sing us sing for that. We can all sing. Patrick, I'll get a song that Mom knows by heart, but Dad, you can help us.
আমি গাড়িতে ওয়েট করছি চলে যাও ঠিক আছে কেন কি চাই
আমরা একটা গান গাওয়া যাবেন বুদ্ধিমান জানতো বুদ্ধিমান করতে সেই গান
সুনীতা বলছে যে সুনীতা ওরা কিন্তু আসে ওখানটা বসো বসো
বুদ্ধিমান ভালোবাসতো সেই গানটা আরে আরে
চারটার ঘন্টা আমাকে দিবে না
তোমার দেওয়ার দেখি
তুমি না বললো না একটা গান
আমি কি ওমেন গেট খাতা
অনেক গান দিয়েছে
কিছু এসেছে
Okay.
Julia's here. I'm coming. Yeah. He's waiting.
কি গান বলছো বলো আমাকে একটা মনে করো কি মানবের তোর গান বলছে পল্লী বৌদি কোনটা
I know that song pretty much too.
পুরোটা যাই না
পুরানো সেই দিনের কথাটা ওটা তো
সবাই জানে
তাহলে সামরিক গান গো, তোমার সমাধি ফুলে ফুলে
পারি না খারাপ হয়ে গেছে না গাইতে পারি
You know everything. Where would you like me to set this up? It's a lot. It was a lot. Coffee. It's tea and coffee. I don't know where you want me to set this
Yeah,
up.
on the left side, left.
There's kind of. Okay, I think,
One second, I'm coming.
I was just trying to figure out where to set this up.
We have to bring up the hair.
We're gonna end this.
Yeah,
Okay, we're gonna end this. I think we're all set. We're gonna. This is what happens when Dad's not here. The discipline's gone. Oh my God, Ma. Seriously. Didi, look what happened when your tea and coffee came. Ma went running. Didi sent us tea and coffee from California. So she heard and she went blistering that way. My uncle, my dad's youngest brother, Bachkaku, and my sister. My sister is there too. And she just heard that her coffee came. Mom went blistering. Yeah, did you just sent her coffee? What time is your bus? Bye. Follow Richard. Bachkaku, thank you for coming. Bachkaku. Didi's tea came, Didi's coffee and tea came, and everybody went that way. Ma left.
Yeah, but can you hear me?
Huh?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, definitely. I was trying to get you to sing it along. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
এখন তো টি ব্রেক কফি ব্রেক কখন তারপর
Oh no, I'm just gonna end it right here. Actually, you know what? Because people are gonna eat now, and it's.
Okay, all right.
Thank you so much for coming.
No problem. Thank you, Sona.
Yeah.
God bless. Bhalo theko.
No, yes. Yes. Thank you for coming, honestly.
Okay, no problem.
Love you so much.
Love you. Love you.
Didi, are you there? Your coffee came and everyone went straight to the. Nancy, Sharon, oh my God.
It's been here an hour. We didn't know if it Your mom called lately.
Brianna and I just sat and we were just having a morning service here. You can get in. Aw.
I don't know who was singing in the bathroom, but I was in the bathroom and just sat there and listened to whoever was singing in the bathroom. Just a little bit that way. It's lovely.
You can have food.
We're not gonna scream on this. But what is this?
And make sure you get.
Yeah.
I think she saw it. We had sitting. I'm gonna wait for an hour and a half.
You watch everything, which I love. You watch my graduation. Brianna, yes. My older daughter, this is Karen's older daughter.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. These are my neighbors. This woman watched me grow up. I was watching her. No, I know. She goes to UMass now.
Which one?
It's weird, but I like it. Yes, I'm living on campus.
See,
but I come
everyone's
back
having
every
your tea, and I think we're basically just gonna. I'll call you. I'm gonna stop the recording.
Have a class and they have